Inequalities. This is a review of part 6. In today's lesson, students will review solving inequalities by combining like terms. What did I say? Very good. In this inequality, we see two terms. The terms are a part of the n family. What's the first term that we see on this side of the inequality? What term is this? 2n. Good job. What is the coefficient that you see in front of n? What is it? 2. Good. And over here, we have an n. Do you see something that's missing? Could it be the invisible 1? Do you see a place where you need to put a 1? You do. It's right here next to n. Now you have two terms with n. So in order to solve this inequality, you have to combine like terms. Okay, everyone do that with me. Ready? Okay, let's go. Heaven. All right, ready? Combine like terms. One more time. Combine like terms, right? So in order to combine like terms, the first thing that you have to do is circle the terms. So you have 2n on this side and negative 1n on this side. So this time we have a negative. When you have negatives, I don't like the negatives. I don't like to be a negative. I am not a negative person. And so immediately you must eliminate the negative. You have to get rid of negatives, guys. You don't want to work with negatives. So think about this. How do you change negative 1n into a positive? What is the opposite of negative 1n? Positive 1n. And when I ask you what number is smaller, 2 or negative 1, what do you tell me? What's smaller? What's negative? Negative 1. So you want to do the opposite. So now we're adding 1n to both sides. And we do that by making a T-bone steak. Here's our first T-bone steak. And I told you have to add 1n to both sides. Okay? So again, you're adding 1n to this side, and you need to add it to the 2n as well, right here, 1n. Okay? So we're combining like terms now, so we're just going to get n. What is negative 1n and positive 1n? Negative 1n and positive 1n make 0. Good job. Now work with the terms here. 2n and 1n. If I have 2n and I add one more n, how many n's do I have now? What? 3n. That's exactly correct. So now that you have combined like terms and now you have 3n, you can bring down the numbers. So this is a positive 3n. You have 2. The inequality is less than to the left. It's less than negative 1. Now you can solve this inequality. Okay? So we circle 3n. We want to find out what is n. So we make the second T-bone steak because you have to make 2 of them. Okay? Is this a positive 2 or a negative 2? It's positive 2. So what is the opposite of positive 2? Negative 2. Exactly. Okay. Positive 2 and negative 2 make 0. So cross it out, bring down 3n. Okay. The inequality is less than or equal to negative 1 and negative 2. Do they have the same signs or different signs? Same signs or different signs, people. They're both negative, so they have the same signs. So say, same signs, add and keep. One more time. Same signs, add and keep. So when you have two negatives, you can say negative, 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 right? Okay, and you're adding 1 plus 2, and that is 3. So read this inequality with me. It says 3n is less than or equal to negative 3. So now, Mr. 3 and Miss N have been married for a long time. They don't want to be together anymore. I don't want to be with you anymore. You don't care about me. So they want to get a divorce. That's right. So you divide both sides by 3. Okay. 3 divided by 3 is is 1. What about over here? Isn't 3 divided by 3 1? But it's negative. It's negative 1. So the inequality is n is less than or equal to negative 1. Read it with me. N is less than or equal to negative 1. The last step is to graph the inequality. Would negative 1 be on the left or the right? It's negative, so it's negative to the left. Good job. So you have a negative 1. Is it an open or a closed circle? Okay, look at that little line there. Is it open or closed? It's closed. So close the circle, and it's going to be less than left. That's right. It is less than negative 1. So this inequality reads, all numbers less than negative 1. Miss Cotran, I see something very peculiar about this inequality. I don't just see one negative variable right there. I see 2. And this one over here, he's missing something very important. What goes right here, my boys and girls? Boys and girls, listen up! What goes right there? It's invisible. What is it? What is it? It's 1. It's 1! Okay, you have first to find your invisible 1. Can you make an invisible 1? Yes, because when you have a letter that is not married, there is a 1 in front of it. Okay, so here we go. If we want to solve this inequality, okay, what are the terms? Read them with me. This is the first term. It's negative 2v, and you have negative 1v. And actually, it looks a little different because there's no number over here, so there's less to work with. That's good. All right, so to solve this inequality, since there's 2 terms and they are in the v family, right? They both end with v. You have to, ready? Okay, you have to combine like terms. Try it again with me. Everybody put your hands like this. Let's go. Combine like terms. That's right. And how do you combine like terms? Well, you have to circle the terms. You got to know what terms are we talking about. Well, negative 2v and negative 1v. 2 negative terms. Wait a minute. Which one is smaller? When you talk about what's smaller on a number line, I want you to remember this. Okay. Here's the positive side of the number line, and here's the negative side. When you move to the left, the numbers get smaller. Remember that? Far from 0, small. Okay, so you have negative 1, negative 2. I'm going to ask you a question. What's smaller? What's smaller? What's farther away from 0? Who said negative 2? That was very smart. Yes, that's true. Okay, negative 2 is the smaller number. So, what do you think we have to do to both sides? If we choose the coefficient of 2 as the smaller number, what are we going to do to both sides? Because this is negative 2v. What is the opposite of negative 2v? Positive 2v. That is correct. So you want to make a T-bone steak and add 2v to both sides first. And why do we do this? Because we don't like negatives. If you don't want to work with negatives, you have to figure out what you should add and subtract to both sides. The rule is choose the smaller number. What did I say? That's correct. All right, so you have a negative 2v and a positive 2v make 0. That is correct. Let's work with the terms here. This is a positive 2v and a negative 1v. So let's just look at the coefficients. What is 2 take away 1? Okay, it's 1. It's 1v. So 1v now, okay, this is less than, bring down the number, it's 2. This says 1v. Is 1v the same as v? So are they the same? They are the same. So remember this, my friends. If you read it this way, it says 2 is less than or equal to v. If you want to get the letter or the variable on one side and the number on the other, you have to switch and flip. So v goes on the left, 2 goes on the right, and flip that sign. It was less than, now it's going to be, what is this? Greater than right. Very good. So it's going to be greater than or equal to. So our last step is to graph this inequality. Would positive 2 be on the left or the right? Positive to the right. Very good. So you have 2. Open or close circle. It's closed because there's a line. It includes 2. Close that circle and go to the, which direction? To the right. Very good. This inequality reads all numbers greater than 2. Okay, have a great day. I will see you on Monday. Oh, no, Tuesday. I'll see you on Tuesday. No school Monday.
Look at this stuff, isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm the girl who has everything?